Hello, once again Instagram, Andy Shepherd here. It's Thursday, as I said a minute ago, therefore it's NXT UK night. I'm joined by Alexander Wolf tonight. Had little gremlins a minute ago. I've whacked the AirPods in, so we're going to see if that's going to help Alexander Wolf hear what I'm saying.
Let's see if this is better this time. Alexander, can you hear me now?
Now it's better, yeah.
There we go. It's these things. I whacked them in, and now up and running. So where were we? Again, a lot of the NXT and WWE universe will not have had an in-depth chat with you in quite some time since we've been in this abnormal situation. So how are you dealing with it? How have you been?
I'm doing great, and I'm doing okay with it because luckily I'm in Germany right now with my wife and my son. And Germany is doing well in that weird situation right now with Corona. And yeah, we didn't have a lockdown here. We just been very careful and just being quarantined in a way of they said, stay at home, keep a distance, wear a mask, and everybody is following those rules. So I guess because everybody's following those rules, we have a little bit more freedom than, for example, the UK had.
Yeah, that's good to hear. How have you been able to stay ready? Because, and tell me if I'm wrong, but is this the longest you've been out of competition for?
Yeah, but this is not a matter of being out of competition for long, because as a professional athlete, especially as a professional sport entertainer, you have to stay always ready to go, which means even in an off time or in an off season, which we don't actually have, you still have to go to training. You still have to find the bits and pieces which keeps you ready to perform. So a lot of gyms being closed, you still can do push-ups or squats or whatever, and you still can order some equipment for home. I have a lot of exercise equipment at home, for example, some kettlebells or some battle ropes. You go out in the park and you can do some workouts. Also, because of our great strength and conditioning coach Tom Hayes, he taught us a lot of exercises with resistance bands. So actually, I don't need a gym to stay ready. So in that case, I was doing fine, and I'm still doing fine.
So it sounds like you're in great shape, but I've talked to a lot of superstars on here on Thursday nights over the last couple of months, and a lot of them have sort of found the silver lining in this situation, in that, as you just said, you guys don't get an off season. You are competing all year, multiple times a week, traveling constantly, and that takes a toll on its body. Has this time allowed you to, in some way, rest up and if anything, be more refreshed and more ready?
Yes, I would say yes, because I haven't gone on a tour for all those months. I was staying at home and just had some quality time with my family, and of course you rest up your body more than versus you being on a tour and sitting in a car or sitting in a bus or in a plane for hours. But I think that's one of the most key parts in our industry and in our professional business, is how to recover fast as possible. So in my opinion, in my situation, I don't go to party anymore. I just don't drink anymore that often, or it's just as an grown up and adult and as a father figure right now, I'm more concerned about just getting enough sleep to being active and vital enough to, first of all, perform in 100%, to go to workouts not really on an anti-battery, and also just be vital.
Of course, you're home in Germany right now, and that's where your career began. And I think a lot of fans would have seen the announcement earlier today that coming this Saturday on the WWE Network, there's going to be a couple of different promotions having their content shown. Of course, a promotion like Progress and ICW here in the UK will be there, but also WXW, a brand that you started with. Let's talk about your experience there and your start with that promotion.
Oh yeah, WXW, one of my own promotions in Germany, started 2009 and teamed together with Zack Sabre Jr. and one of my opponents in that match also was Walter. So it was a good start, but that was just the start, and I had the chance to evolve as a professional athlete in that company, and I have to thank WXW and like all the staff and the office workers there for just just trusting me and just just let me be like let me to become a professional wrestler, let me be myself to entertain the fans in Germany. And before I moved over to Orlando, Florida to start my journey with NXT and WWE, it was 2015, so I really just loved the time there. And also I had the chance to perform a couple times under WWE contract there for 16 Carat and some other shows. So it's always great to be back there, and I'm super happy that now WXW is available or will be hopefully sooner or later 100% available on the WWE network. So it's definitely an advice to all the WWE fans in the WWE universe, switch it on. Just go on the network and look some WXW and just see how Germany can do.
By the way, everyone who's watching, if you've got questions for Alexander, please do send them in. I'm going to be asking him some of your questions in just a few minutes' time. Now, going back to WXW, how cool is it now that fans can go and explore these promotions? And I believe they're going to be putting on content showcasing current WWE superstars during their journey in those promotions. That's really cool now to have that ability at our fingertips to go and watch that kind of content.
It's simply amazing because let's see, for example, let's take me as an example, right? I've been since 2015 in NXT. Just debuted with Sanity, with all my different teammates together. Just achieved something, and then just went to SmackDown. Wasn't that successful like in NXT. Now just went to NXT UK. But what I have done before, I was already a professional wrestler, but not under WWE contract. So what I have done before, and now you have the chance to watch it. And that counts for all those great superstars who are now under WWE contract. So you can watch all the matches from, for example, Ilya Dragunov or from Walter, Marcel Portel. You can watch all the stuff from Progress, where you see like most of the NXT UK talents performing there on a high level. And that is just exciting stuff. And of course, I believe it will push pro wrestling again in Europe, in the world, and especially when you have like all those American fans, the American WWE universe. They also can see why Europe is one of the best wrestling continents and why Germany and England is one of the best wrestling countries in the world.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I know I've got my weekend sorted already watching all that content they're going to be putting out. Now let's talk about NXT UK. When you heard that this brand was becoming a thing, of course you weren't with the brand at the very start, but was it something that sparked your interest from the start?
Yeah, it sparked my interest because it's called NXT UK, but let's be honest, it's not all about the UK. In my opinion, it should be called NXT Europe, but that's a different story. But all the talents there, and then seeing guys like Marcel Bartel and Fabian Aichner show up, seeing guys like Walter showing up, and I knew right exactly where it should go. I knew exactly, even at that time, being on WWE SmackDown, I knew exactly sooner or later I will join my old fellas and will take over NXT UK.
Now let's talk about yourself at Imperium. I mean, you have been so incredibly dominant in NXT, but also, let's be honest, across the pond in the United States. We go back to Worlds Collide at the start of the year when Imperium got a win over the Undisputed Era. Incredible momentum that you guys have built up and have continued. When NXT UK eventually does get back to running shows, what can we expect from you and your Imperium teammates?
Simple as that. Nothing else what you have seen before. Total dominance. We will continue protecting that what's sacred to us, and that is our mat. That is the wrestling business. That is the business of professional wrestling, of sports entertainment, and to show everybody why Imperium is not only one of the dominant force, why Imperium sooner or later will take over everything.
And I spoke to Walter several months ago now here on Instagram, and he told me about the history of the wrestling he was brought up on in Germany, and why it was so special and why it means so much to keep it sacred. Can you tell me why this message that you and Imperium preach is so important to you?
Yes, it's simply important because in our age, when we grew up with wrestling, when we started with professional wrestling, we got taught a lot of things, but we got taught a lot of right things. And I feel the now generation, the younger generation, it's all about just being clowns. It's all about just being, just dancing around and just whatever, having fun. I have fun, but I can do this without just, being a clown. I got taught respect. I got taught being tough. I got taught just stand on the mat with nothing else than just your body and your mind, and just wrestle and perform and just torture the other guy and just bring him down and just submit and or pin him. It doesn't matter. In the end, win or lose, you don't complain, but always be mindful with respecting what you do and respecting the business.
Of course, Ilya Dragunov is someone that you showed interest in several months ago, and we know you have history with Ilya from back in your career. How much of a disappointment was it for you and the rest of Imperium that someone like Ilya Dragunov did not want to join you in spreading that message?
It was quite a disappointment, to be honest. But my interest wasn't fake, and it wasn't any misleading information for him where I would jump in from behind. No, that wasn't the point. I know Ilya Dragunov since he started. He started with me. I taught him almost everything. But obviously, I didn't taught him everything, because otherwise he would join us and not backstab me.
Well, look, we can't wait to see you guys back in NXT UK. But of course, the momentum has carried on for Imperium throughout this odd timeline. Of course, Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner have won the NXT Tag Team Championship. So not only is your presence being felt in NXT UK, but now it's bleeding over into NXT. How did you feel when you saw your stablemates pick up those titles and start to take over NXT as well?
I was super happy because, let's face it, those guys are one of the hardest working persons in that company. More than just deserving. They busted their rear end from month to month. And people cannot see that because it's on live events, and live events are not televised. They traveled from show to show, and just put on the best performance every night. And now they are the NXT Tag Team Champions. So you don't need words to describe what you've seen there. Just see it, enjoy it.
Is one of the aims of Imperium moving forward? Now you've obviously captured gold in NXT UK and gold in NXT. Is there a mindset, a plan that you want to now sweep up all of the titles available on both of those brands?
Sky's the limit, right? But it's weird because now Walter is the NXT UK champion and Fabian and Marcel the NXT US Tag Team Champions. Now everybody expects that I will achieve something like them, that I now just go on the hunt for gold. I'm always on the hunt for gold. I never got one opportunity. Yeah, I got one opportunity once and I scored. I became NXT Tag Team Champion as well. And since then, I never get another opportunity. And I'm an opportunist. And let me tell you something. If I get the chance to fight for title, you will see what's happened.
Well, we would love to see that. But let's go back to NXT UK right now. You've, of course, had matches with so many superstars over here. Is there a superstar that, when you return, you'd love to step into the ring with, first of all? Someone you perhaps have fought previously, or someone perhaps you haven't had the chance to test yourself against?
I don't care about the other superstars. I just care about the message and the mission from Imperium. And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Tyler Bate or is it Ilya again or whoever it is. Just know if you stand across in the ring against me, I will make you suffer. I will do everything to beat you. And just swipe you out of the ring because the match is sacred.
Well, for all the NXT UK superstars watching, there's a very clear message there. Now, let's talk about the impact that Imperium have had on NXT UK. I've been with the brand since its inception, and I can feel the shift and the change since Imperium have really got a latch of NXT UK. With that in mind, what separates NXT UK from other brands, and and the brand that you've really tried to inflict your will on? Why should fans tune in now to watch that kind of action?
I think it's just a different product. I mean, we all under the WWE umbrella, and NXT UK is that's called the fourth brand, because we have Raw, we have SmackDown, we have NXT in the United States, and now we have NXT UK. But a lot of people in NXT UK, a lot of the talents, they are wrestling for years. They have experience over decades, and they're wrestling constantly. So it's not just an whatever, like 5 match in a year talent. No, they wrestle maybe 5 matches a week. So everybody is very talented. That's the reason why they are with NXT UK, and everybody has really a passion for the business, and everybody is really good. So that mind, you have talented, passionate talents, and also you have a different wrestling style, because the British wrestling style, the European wrestling style is way different, and in my opinion, it's more entertaining than the average Joe wrestling style over in the States.
Well, we've got a few minutes left before we have to move on to NXT UK tonight on the WWE Network. Just 9 minutes away to a brand new episode. I've got a question here from Gavin. Who is your wrestling idol? Is there anyone that you've looked up to or has influenced you over the years?
So my favorite wrestling superstar, my favorite wrestling WWE superstar is Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I grew up as a wrestler, as a Steve Austin fan. My first wrestling idol was The Undertaker, because he was the first wrestler I saw, really, and I was impressed by. But like now, in the way of like wrestling style, I would say all like guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. And out of the WWE bubble, I studied a lot of matches and like work videos from my work older brother Josh Barnett, because he is one of the guys who made the transfer from shoot wrestling from MMA to catch wrestling into pro wrestling. So he's definitely one I like to watch.
Well, look, Mr. Wolf, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you go now so we can get a cup of tea and get ready for tonight's episode. Of course, you are featured in tonight's episode. It's a match not to be missed. Mr. Wolf, thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you back inside the squared circle very soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Alexander Wolf there. Great to talk to him. Great insight there into what makes him tick, what the rest of Imperium think about things moving forward. Remember, you can catch him in a match tonight. It's him versus the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne on NXT UK. That's happening in just 8 minutes' time on the WWE Network. Of course, tonight also Zaya Brookside will be taking your questions on Twitter. So you can watch NXT UK. You can also tweet Zaya. And of course, Zaya is in a match tonight. Anyway, from me, Andy Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next week right here on the NXT Instagram. Take care and stay safe.